After Chennai Super Kings, Delhi Capitals have become the second team to qualify for the playoffs in this edition of the IPL. That after they won their sixth match in the last 8 that they've played. This encounter, 187 for 5, is what they got batting first. And one of those rare days when a team batting first has won. Shreyas Iyer, the skipper, getting 52 for them. Parthiv Patel, only 39, is the top scorer for Bengaluru. They fell short by 16 runs, which means that now they can get to a maximum of 12 points. I'm talking about Bengaluru, but that doesn't mean that they're out of the IPL. Mathematically, they still have a chance. You could have a situation where 3 teams finish with 12 points, but however, logically, if you take a look at that, it seems like impossible for Bengaluru to go through simply because of that run rate. For that, they'll hope that all the top 3 teams that you've got in Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai also end up winning all their matches. Plenty more permutations and combinations for Delhi, Chennai and Mumbai. But since we're talking about Delhi's performance, remember, this is the first time after 2012 they've made it to the IPL playoffs. And also, meanwhile, since we're talking about plenty of records for Delhi, there's a record for Bengaluru as well. I'm just churning out stats after stats. There are plenty there. They've become the 3rd team to lose 100 T20 matches after Derbyshire, and the first team on that list is Middlesex. And joining me is Murli Karthik, a man who's played for Middlesex before.
Hey, in my time we won the comp.
What's
Yes,
the most? So what was that stat? The most T20 losses.
Yes, 100. There are 3 teams there that have got a century. RCB have joined them. So clearly, IPL hasn't been a great time for Royal Challengers Bangalore this time too. As I said, they're bottom of the table. Doesn't mean that they're out. Okay, we're now going to look back at this particular encounter. Let's start with, how is it that Delhi Capitals batted? We'll start right from the top. That foundation that Shikhar Dhawan laid for them. We've seen it through this IPL. They've gotten into some sort of form, and it's coincided with good form by Shikhar Dhawan.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always the way. The opening batsman in T20 is so important. The world over, wherever you are in the world playing. You get off good starts, and it just makes it so much easier for everyone else. The guys batting through the middle. Okay, at times if someone's bowling well, they can sort of act to the situation. They don't have to slog every ball. Shreyas obviously played fairly well while he was in. So huge difference if your openers are making runs.
I'm just looking at Royal Challengers Bangalore as well. They had a good start too with Parthiv Patel and Virat Kohli. Then a good finish at the end by Gurkeerat. Where is it that you think they lost the game?
Look, you need the big players to stand up, isn't it, in a game like that, and have somebody play right through the innings. It's not just about starts, but just sticking to it, and someone from the big 2 being there till the end, because they are the match winners. You play supporting roles, but the main heroes are generally Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers, and if one of them gets out, you also as a bowling team, you feel happy. You know that, oh, this is beyond the reach. Even if one of them is there as a bowling unit, you're always thinking AB is batting, Virat is batting, we need to try and attack, and you end up making mistakes. But once one of them is gone, you know it's only a matter of time, unless and until someone just plays an absolute cracker of an innings. Gurkeerat could have been that man today, but generally as a bowling group, now we've got the upper hand.
Looking at the RCB batting, yes, he mentions that you needed Virat and AB de Villiers to fire, but today, as I said, you've had other guys really firing. So did they once again lose it when they've been losing all their matches? It's their bowling. 187 on this particular track may have been tough for most.
Yeah, the bowling again, it's not great. Shahar even went for a few today, but he always takes a couple of wickets, usually, not always, but often. He's their best bowler. The rest of the guys, they really, at times they've been better. Obviously, when Dale was here, the side looked better. But they've struggled. Really, when you think about Bangalore's side, he's right. The top 2 guys, and everyone else after that. You've got some good players in there, but not convincing like some other franchises. You know what I mean? So it's almost like they have put their eggs in the one basket. Okay, Coulter would have been a great addition if he was there, but he's not there. So they've had a bit of. Over the last few years, they've had a bit of bad luck with injuries as well with their fast bowlers. But in general, picking their squad, they just over the years they haven't been fantastic about it.
That's where you needed really their fast bowlers, Umesh Yadav, the likes of Navdeep Saini, because 141 for 5 is where you had Delhi Capitals at one stage. From there on, allowing them 46 runs in the last 3 overs. You had the foot on their neck. You needed to let it choke.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think death bowling is something which we keep talking every now and then. Yes, you're going to go for runs. Yes, you're going to miss the length. Yes, you're going to do all those things, and somebody might just hit those good deliveries. But at the end of the day, again and again, I keep saying the same thing. You make better bad decisions. From your end, if your thought process is right, and if you're trying to do the right thing, and if then the batsman hits you, then fair play to it. But if you're bowling deliveries which should not be bowled at that time, then there's something wrong in your thinking and then your execution. Where do we go wrong? Either it's in the thought process or the execution. If the thought process is wrong, then obviously if you're going to execute it, it's going to bear bad results.
You look at a Gurkirat getting you runs, then you look at a Stoinis getting you run. One just wonders, this was that problem area for them. Had these guys been firing maybe a little earlier in the tournament, Bangalore wouldn't have been in the situation they are on the points table.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. Obviously, it takes time sometimes for guys to get into tournaments. There's a few teams now. You see Rajasthan starting to play better as well. It's okay. It might not be too late, but it looks like it probably is. So, but that happens. There's always going to be a couple of sides each year that struggle through. And Bangalore again, I think even just taking a long time to know what combinations they're going to play with through the IPL, which is sometimes you can't do anything about it. Sometimes so you've had a season to get your head around this.
Most fans would ask that. Talking about the combination, the way Gurkirat was batting today, one would wonder why is it that you didn't have him in the team?
Yeah, I said this to you even during pre-show, that he's somebody who should have been there for a while now. Look, these are India players. Washington Sundar picked for in the India team. Gurkirat not too far ago, he was in Australia, not in India but in Australia, touring Australia as part of the Indian team because he on the back of some really good performances in India A and all those things. So these are guys who can do it. But for any team, as long as I don't put an arm around you, as they call the circle of love has a meaning. It means that you've got my back. It's that kind of a thing. And if that doesn't come from the top management down below to make them feel happy, it's going to be tough. Akshdeep Nath gets a couple of games thrown away. Somebody gets 2-3 games. If 2-3 games go bad for AB de Villiers, you're not going to drop him. It's because of the fact that you believe in him. So whoever you picked, you need to believe in this format. Especially it's such a volatile format. The next time the batsman's going to come, he's going to play for himself, not for the team then. Okay,
talking about believing in someone, Lamichan is that curious case as well for Delhi Capitals. Went for a few runs today, but would you like the team to continue with him going forward? Or could you put it down for this performance because of the time that he's been in and out of the team throughout this tournament?
That's the other thing that is difficult with the IPL in general is when you are in and out of a side all the time, it can be quite hard to come back in and perform straight away. You've seen plenty of players, Klaassen, he's been in and out a couple of times. It's hard to, Ashton Turner when he first started, you're not playing, you're not going back to play for anyone, you're training for 3 weeks, then you get picked. So it's not as if you're doing trial games or you're playing for your state side or anything like that, then you're getting picked for India or Australia, whatever it is. You're on the bench and then you get picked and you got to perform. So, but that's the nature of the IPL.
Okay, just looking at one last performance from this match before we move into the game that's just coming up, and that was Rishabh Pant. I'm going to talk about his keeping because plenty was spoken about his keeping, especially with that World Cup squad in mind. Question about his keeping, looked good today with the
Yeah, very good. To be very honest, you have to give credit where it's due, and that's exactly what you want, isn't it? For somebody so talented, if there is a flaw somewhere or if there is a criticism, if you may say so, is the fact that the consistency in keeping. When you look at a Ridhiman Saha, when you look at a Dhoni, you can never have question marks over their keeping because they're flawless. Or nearly flawless. Any keeper is going to miss. But it's the crucial chances. If you muff them, then it's not about the number of runs you get, but the number of runs the guy whom you miss gets. That could be the difference between winning or losing. And even from a bowler's point of view, you want that confidence behind the stumps that if there is a nick, if there is somebody running down the track, Rishabh is not going to miss. That's exactly what you want.
Taking catches today that weren't out.
Yeah,
you take one on the bounce today.
Yeah, but just to give him the benefit of the doubt, do you think it can happen, or do you think
that generally bounced? Okay. I don't think he didn't realise that bounce. No.
He wasn't being
the gloves on as well. I mean, I always feel in the field you sort of know when you've caught it. To me, but when you got the gloves on and stuff, and it's there, I think it's quite difficult.
So he wasn't being naughty.
Well, I think as soon as he caught it, you could see his face celebrating. So it's almost like he knew he caught. Yeah.
But all's well that ends well. You had that fist pump between Virat Kohli and Rishabh Pant. So no malice there as far as that particular incident is concerned. We were talking about Delhi Capitals making it into the playoffs. Mumbai Indians also have a chance of making it into the playoffs. All they need to do is a simple task: beat Kolkata Knight Riders at home. That is match number 47 7 that's coming your way. We're getting news from Eden Gardens is that Mumbai Indians have won the toss, and no surprise there, they are bowling first. We're getting to know a few changes as well. Let's see the playing 11 for both teams, and this is Kolkata. 3 changes I can see. Robin Uthappa is in, Sandeep Warrior is in, Harry Gurney is in, Prasidh Krishna goes out, and you got Anukul Roy going out, and beg your pardon, you got Prithvi Raj going out. That's the second one that has gone out. So 2 changes we can see. And Brathwaite, yes, that's correct. Now I've kind of figured it out. Brathwaite is the third guy to go out. Gurney is a good choice to bring him back.
Harry Gurney hasn't been fantastic this IPL, but I'm not sure whether the conditions suit his type of bowling either here at Kolkata. But I like him. I always like seeing him in a team. He's a likeable cricketer. But again, this side's been a bit up and down with what they're doing, and they seem all over the place right now.
Yes, and they've gone with a bit of pace. They've got Brathwaite out and Gurney in, also because of the way we saw the pitch. Also,
Gurney is not an express bowler. It's just that with that odd action, it's difficult to pick what he's bowling, whether it's the quicker one or the slower one. Yeah, and as Teddy mentioned, it seems like they've just lost their bearings at the moment, with even their players coming out and saying things which should not be said. I don't think it's in a happy space right now.
Yeah, we're going to listen in to what he said, and we'll have a full discussion.
I led you into it.
Yes, you did. But before that, a quick word. We're looking at the playing team. Robin Uthappa is back into the team. Nothing would have changed for him. He was dropped because of some sort of a poor form there in the IPL. So nothing would have changed there. I think probably because KKR batting not firing, so you had no option.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it now and go, okay, well, who's really stepping up and doing anything there? May as well. Okay. Sometimes when I was speaking before about missing games, then coming back in, it's hard to perform. Sometimes it's a good thing. If you're out of form, you get a bit of a kick up the butt, and you sit on the bench for a few games, you come back in, you're hungry for some runs. So it might be the best thing for Uthappa.
Okay, 3 changes for Kolkata Knight Riders. Let's see if Mumbai Indians have made any change to their playing 11. Yes, 1 change indeed. Barinder Sran comes in, and Anukul Roy, as I mentioned earlier, is out. There again, it's a condition-based change looking at
by the looks of it, because of the fact that they've got Rahul Chahar, who is the only spinner. Jasprit Bumrah, Krunal Pandya is more of a... So they've not gone for the third spinner. There's ammunition in terms of fast bowling, and it looks like he's got a cap today. He's playing, I think he played for Sunrisers Hyderabad before, and now it's a new debut cap for Barinder Sran, the left-arm fast bowler.
All right, I just saw that playing list. Of course, that's not the batting list, but you had Surya Kumar Yadav ahead of Evan Lewis. Would you stick with that?
No, I would want Evan Lewis up top, because he's wasted if he's coming lower down the order, and especially with the kind of pace which this surface offers. I think it's just tailor-made for somebody like him who carves the ball, hits the ball. He's got some of the fastest T20 hundreds as well, especially against India. So you would want him up top at 3. And for me, I definitely feel that Surya Kumar Yadav down the order has always done better than Surya Kumar Yadav up top, unless and until it's opening.
Okay, interesting point he makes about Evan Lewis. Last time he got a bit of flack for not really, getting you the quick runs that you need. But this is a different pitch, maybe the one that suits him with the ball coming out.
Oh yeah. 100%. If it's the same sort of wicket, which it probably will be, it's a perfect conditions for him. Again, I mean, going into a different topic, sort of Mumbai winning the toss, Kolkata, the last thing they need right now
is to lose the toss.
Is to, anything else going against them. So.
All right, we've seen Mumbai do rather well while chasing totals as well. Plus on Kolkata pitch as well, we've seen teams chase rather well. Now, because we're talking about Kolkata, one thing that's certainly not right within the team was all questions about Andre Russell. Where is it that he needs to bat? He came out earlier saying he would like to bat at 4, then push down to number 7. But then he's talking about what is the atmosphere like within KKR? What is it that has gone wrong that has ensured that they have such a long losing streak?
We have a good team, but having a good team and making bad decisions, I think that you will always lose games, and that's what we've been doing. If we have the time, I could pinpoint a few games where if we just look to bowl tighter in areas, or maybe, bowl bowlers that would actually restrict the game, or the right bowlers at the right time. I think they said that our batting been struggling, and the batting haven't been struggling really. We get the totals that we should have defend. We should have restrict teams to less totals and go in and get that runs. But I think, you know, when you bowl bad as bowlers, and you know we don't really take our catches. You know what I mean? We've been the worst feeling team so far, and you know it's just plain. It's on TV, so everyone is seeing. I think we have to just make sure that we have a good practice session tonight. Do whatever it takes, put our body on the line, and make sure that we take KKR over the line for the next 3 games, and then hope that whatever decision we want to go our way, go our way. I've never feared any bowler. Never. Bowlers fear me. To be honest. I'm not bragging or anything. I can get out 1 ball tomorrow, while the first ball they bowl can go for 6. So, I'm not afraid to get out. Like, I'm not gonna die. So, you know, it's not life and death situation. It's like you're giving yourself a chance to score runs. They try to get you out. So, Bumrah is a top bowler. Malinga, top bowler. But they are human beings. Tomorrow, they can bowl a few balls that slip off the fingers, don't come out like how it normally come out. And I'm in business. So, good question, but I never back down.
All right, Andre Russell has been batting on the front foot, but has been on the front foot as far as the press conference is concerned. Okay, interesting thoughts. Those 2 things really stand out that he talks about. One, clearly saying there have been poor decisions that have been made on the field. Had those decisions been right, things could have gone differently. The other saying we are definitely the worst fielding side. Firstly, I'll start with, as a player, you've been part of various dressing rooms. How would, if you were a member of the Kolkata Knight Riders team, how would you react after this press conference?
Depends if I'm the captain or I'm a player
Let's
or
say
I'm
you're
the
a
team
player.
management. As a player, I would be gutted with any member of my team going and saying things in the press because for whatever happens, you might kill each other, fight each other and swear at each other. In the dressing room, there are certain things which are sanctimonious to the dressing room atmosphere and what you talk about the team. Even if you might not agree with this leader or coach, there are certain things which shouldn't come out to the press. And I feel that has been flouted here. Absolutely flouted. That decorum has been messed with.
Okay, if I was to play the devil's advocate, none of those things that he mentions here are incorrect. I mean, if you were to take a look at their performance, he isn't saying anything wrong.
I'm not saying he's saying it wrong, but then we could all just come out. If you play in any cricket team, we could all just come out and start telling the media everything that happens. I mean, he's not going into detail about personal stuff. He's obviously talking about the game, but. Obviously, there's other players in that team that think the same as him. There always will be. They'll be talking.
Yeah.
That's what happens in teams. They'll be talking. So it's probably most of the players in the team. They might agree with what he's saying. It just doesn't mean that you come out and tell the media that. You don't need to tell the media. Tell the coach. Tell the owners. Tell your franchise. Tell your captain. Don't tell the media. Why are you telling the media this? I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, the guy's talking.
There are lots of things which happen right, which might be right, but you don't have to come out and say it.
Okay.
Would you come and discuss your family life with me?
No.
So there might be something wrong or something right. This is a family. This is a big, huge family which travels around. You win together, you lose together. It's not as if that you win individually and you lose together. Everything happens as a collective team. That's why it's a team game. And that's where someone like him, and I'll ask you something. Where was Andre Russell is having a great year, so you can come out and say whatever.
Exactly.
What was the Andre Russell doing when he was not playing and when all the things weren't happening? And what happened when he was done in for the doping and all that? Where was the thing? Where did he go then?
I'm sure, but those are separate matters. He'll be asked questions
for
that. No, he
What
needs
he's
to
saying
answer
is
those
when
questions.
you're going well, it's very easy to
Easy to
criticize.
shout, yeah.
It's always the way.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out why this may have happened. Let me throw that question to you, Karthik. It's not the first time he's come out in a press conference this IPL.
year.
He came out before as well.
This year.
Yeah, I'm just talking about
Not
this
last
IPL.
year or the year before.
I'm talking about this IPL. He came out in a press conference this IPL a few games before. He had the opportunity of saying the same things that around, but did not. Maybe because he waited, things weren't really turning out. Maybe these are things he mentioned.
Yeah,
within
but
the dressing
again,
room.
Nikhil, we're
If
coming
things
back
are-
to the same
Yeah.
thing. That might be the worst dressing room.
Yeah.
The captain could be the worst captain, the coach could be the worst captain, and the franchise could be the worst franchise. But you don't come out and say it. If you want to say it to your people or don't play. Don't come out to the media and say things which it's not a written rule. Again, it's like that ghost book called Spirit of Cricket.
We've all done it at times.
Yeah,
most players at times have done it, not in that way. But we've said something about a place we used to play for or something maybe. But he's come out and said he wants to bat 4. That he thinks team.
Yeah.
He's not afraid of any bowlers. They're afraid of him. He's talking about what the team should be doing. So he should be captain. He should be batting 4.
Okay.
And he's not afraid of anyone. Everyone's afraid to bowl him. I bowled him and I wasn't afraid of him. So not everyone's afraid of bowling him.
I bowled him. I was not afraid of him.
So I'm just saying he comes out and talks this garbage. It's getting a bit older.
And this game has got this funny knack of biting you so hard on your backside, where people will be mocking at you, not even afraid of you.
Okay, maybe he had the best interest of the team in mind. Maybe he thought that these are things that are spoken within the dressing room. Nothing came of it.
I bet it is. Yeah.
Maybe
So
he speaks in
you
the
mean to
press
say
conference.
that
Things
what
get
will
sorted.
happen? So will the
I'm
media
devil's
person call up the captain and the coach and say, "You guys are not doing well"? Andre Russell thinks he spoke to you, but he's come and spoken to us. So now things will suddenly get better. How does it help going to the media?
The problem is, it's a bad reflection on every. So if it's the captain that's the problem, and all the team agree that the captain's a problem, what he's saying now, you could think the coach might be the problem, the players might be the problem, the captain might be the problem,
Read between
the
the
owners
lines.
might be the problem. So it could be anyone.
Can I set the cat amongst the pigeons? Was it all started by the tweet by the owner in SRK where he mentioned that I would like everyone to chip in because you can't let Andre Russell down.
That was
the
also
team.
terrible, I thought, for a franchise owner. Absolutely terrible.
Maybe that is the trigger point that allowed Andre Russell to come out and say those things.
You're setting an environment where the owner's going to come out and talk like that. Then now the players are bound to, aren't they? So that's what happens.
Okay, we could.
You're setting a precedent, and it's just that somebody doing well in the season, that particular season, you just pipe up.
All right, we would have loved to have continued talking about this, but we have a game to look forward to. Here's a quick record of Mumbai versus Kolkata in the IPL, and you take a look at that. Mumbai hold the edge versus Kolkata, and over 23 matches that the two teams have played. Mumbai have won 18 and in fact are on a winning streak at the moment as well versus Kolkata. So all things right now stacked up against the home side, that is the Kolkata Knight Riders. Quickly take a look at who won the Fab 4 contest in the game that's just gone by between we had Bangalore and Delhi, and this was Sean's Fab 4. He's got a total of 131 points. You got Kagiso Rabada and Yuzvendra Chahal giving you 40 points each. Let's see how is it that Murli Karthik has done in the Fab 4. And there it is at 156. He's just edged him. I think it is Parthiv Patel and Shikhar Dhawan that made the difference, getting you a lot of Lamachani. Yeah, it was highs and lows for you. It was a mix there, but eventually you won that. Okay, but we still got another Fab 4 contest to go. Another game coming up. We'll have the playing 11s on the screen so that we can have our two analysts pick. Sean, last time you went second, so you go first.
Well, I better pick Andre Russell. He's a legend.
He's not scared of anyone.
He's not scared of any bowler. I'm going to go with Sunil Narayan.
Okay. You pick Narayan and Russell?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to pick Russell.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to pick Harry Gurney.
Gurney. Okay.
He's a nice guy, Harry Gurney.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to pick Rohit Sharma.
You've gone with all the nice guys this time.
Jasprit.
Jasprit Bumrah. That's a good 4. Okay, over to you, Murli Karthik.
I'm going Shubman Gill.
Shubman Gill is opening, so that's a position he likes to bat in.
And Nitish Rana and Evan Lewis and Quinton de Kock.
Oh no, Sunil Narayan's not even batting. Damn it.
That is an interesting 4 picks that you've picked.
Always,
okay.
every time I pick somebody, you say interesting 4
Yeah,
picks.
because I'll tell you, Evan Lewis is
I'm
one.
not happy with
I
mine.
wouldn't have picked Evan Lewis, which I say, and Nitish Rana has been a bit off the boil recently. Had a good IPL, but you've gone with it. That's unusual.
So I picked Harry Gurney and
Gurney as well.
Look, I've had a shocker. So.
No, but it was pretty close last time around. I mean, 25 points, not much of a difference. Okay, that's all that we could pack into this show.
Win is a win,
Sean
son.
Tate, Murli Karthik, thanks so much for joining us. You were watching ESPN Cricinfo Matchday.